One. First thing and foremost, I'm going to give all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, Ba'ashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone and rule well. Blessings and salutations to the whole elect. News in the gospel broad, lifting up the standard of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahweh Shai, wherever it may be. This is another lesson through the Spirit. It says man loses password to implantable chip in his hand. Wow. Didn't know these things came equipped with passwords, but, hey, welcome to Esau's world. But getting to the article, it says a magician in Missouri had a kooky idea to implant a computer chip into his hand and then do some fun and magic tricks with it. But too bad he forgot the password. It sounds like a short story cooked up by Kurt Vonnegut, but it really happened to Z-Teen Wang, a magician and molecular biologist in Missouri who posted about his predicament in his Facebook account this month, complete with an x-ray picture of his hand showing the white outline of the offending microchip embedded in the meat between his thumb and index finger, which proves that it's going to go in your hand or in your forehead. For those of you out there that may be skeptical, it says here, I'm living in my own cyberpunk dystopia life right now, locked out of technology inside my body, and it's my own damn fault, wrote Wong, who goes by the stage name Z the Mentalist. It says on a first glance, it's a pretty funny antidote, but as companies like billionaire Elon Musk Neuralink push brain chips to the public, Wong's personal tale serves as a cautionary tale for the risk of having any technology, which means you shouldn't get it because you're going to get destroyed, whether private and public, embedded into your body. It says companies may go out of business, product lines discontinue, or in the case of Wang, your stupidity forget the bloody password. It says Wang explained in a Facebook post that the had radio frequency identification RFID chip, microchip inserted into his hand ages ago for fun magic tricks. That's a stupid way that's a dumb idea. But it requires someone such as an audience member to press their smartphone with the RFID reader to Wang's hand to activate whatever trick he developed. But it turns out that pressing someone else's phone to my hand repeatedly, trying to figure out where that phone's RFID reader is, really doesn't come off as super mysterious and the magical amazing, he wrote. And often people who have reader disabled too while using my own phone for the scan also lacks for the obvious reasons. It says moving away from the gadget as a magic prop, he later tinkered about with the chip by rewriting it with the Bitcoin address and then had it linked to an image meme on Igmar online imaging sharing platform. Which, that was pretty stupid. It wasn't worth it at the end of the day, but, he's gook any goddamn way. So it is what it is. But, really knowing it's more to it. Hold on. Oh, come on, man. Move. And that's a dumb thing to go out. You forgot the password. That's dumb. But anyway, a few years ago, that eMore link went down, and I went to rewrite the chip. I was horrified to realize I forgot the password that I had locked it with, he said. But the denouement of the story, tech friends told him the only way to unlock the chip is to literally strap an RFID reader for days to weeks on his palm and brute forcing every possible combination. So the chip remains in his hand, lost password and all. But at least the eMore link started working again, Wayne wrote, but I'm still locked out of my own body's tech, and that's inconvenient but hilarious. And you would think that they can administer some type of surgery, but for what I was researching with these chips, sometimes when they become embedded, I won't say it's like dissolvable, but they can move around, But it says here, this isn't the first time this happened. Daniel Oberhaus, a former writer for Vice, recounted back in 2018 how he drunkenly got near-field communication chip, which is the version of Europe, the NFC, implanted into his hand. But like Wang, he forgot the passcode to the chip, making it a writer into what he called the world's most useless cyborg, which, any technology, man, you put a particular password in, you write the shit down. Or usually people's passwords are across the bandit the same, Like most people use the same passwords. for different accounts because it's easier to remember. Or they write shit down that requires what they call a pass key, which is another form of security encryption so you don't get hacked. But it says, thankfully, he eventually retrieved the passcode after hours of pouring through technical catalogs. But he says, if I had a single piece of advice for anyone thinking about getting an NFC chip implant, I would do it sober equipped. But the repercussions of getting the mark of the beast is going to be destruction, okay? So for all you people out there that don't see that the MOTB, the mark of the beast, is the RFID chip, then it's essentially said that the Spirit of the Lord is not with you. Because we speak on these things, and ultimately this is what we're supposed to be speaking on because it's modern day. This is the scriptures, okay? Sirach 39:1, it says, but he that giveth his mind to the law of the Most High, and is occupied in the meditation thereof, will seek out wisdom of all the ancient and be occupied in prophecies. For those of you dudes out there that say, see all you GMS do, talk about the chip. Hey, look, what else we gonna talk about? Hey, we've covered everything, and ideally, that's just what it is. We're supposed to go into these things because that's what the scriptures say do. Speak on prophecy, speak on Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai's second coming. All right, matter of fact, let's look this up. Yuval Noah Harari, which is a small hat, and this was some of the video I was watching the other day. Where is it at, man? Did they take it down? Hold on, let me click on it here. Making sense of a world in crisis, beyond boundaries, redefining humanity in age of innovation, okay? Going into the AI shit. AI, how can you control the alien intelligence? See, this is all a God complex of a man trying to control, things that simply does not belong to his understanding. Same God that said that we don't have to believe in the concept of a higher power because, ultimately we can outdo the Most High, which is blasphemous, But it says he would keep the sands of renowned men, and where subdued parables are, he would be there also. He would seek out the secret of grave sentences and be conversant in dark parables, and he should serve among great men and appear before princes, and will travel through strange countries, for he have tried the good and evil among men. But the dark parables is going into these scriptures, man, the prophecies, okay, which we are commanded to do. 2 Corinthians 15:1, speak, behold, speak thou in the ears of my people the words of prophecy, which I will put in their mouth, says the Lord. Yeah, prophecy means to say before, and cause them to be written in paper, for they are faithful and true. So while guys are out here doing land blitz and land grabs and changing the doctrine, his prophecy is getting ready to accelerate, and you people are going to get caught off guard because, hey, the scriptures say that the Lord was going to come as a thief, okay? Fear not the imaginations against thee, and let not the incredulity of them trouble thee that speak against thee. It says, for all the unfaithful should die in their unfaithfulness. So, hey, those of you that don't want to take heed, you're going to be destroyed. All right? Because like this idiot that got the chip put in him, he's going to be destroyed anyway. Because essentially he may be a heathen, but a lot of you jakes are going to go down the same path because you didn't take heed to the warning. Okay, the Lord sent the prophets out warning the people, but yet you have not hearkened. Like it tells us in the book of Jeremiah. I think it's Jeremiah, let me come back to this. Jeremiah 7. Jeremiah 7, and I'm going to start at verses 23. It says, but this thing commanded I them, saying, obey my voice. And who is the voice of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, the prophets? And I will be your power, and ye should be my people, and ye should walk all of my ways that I've commanded you, that it may be well unto you. But they hearken not, nor incline their ear, but walk out in the counsels and after their imaginations of their evil heart. So Jake chose to do wickedness, man. Okay, you got average Christians out there and regular common folk that's speaking about the mark of the beast, but yet you got Israelites out there that don't really see the need to do so. Like this guy Zabak. He can't see that the RFID chip is the microchip. How can you not see that, Zabak? Okay? How can ISUPK not see that the chip is the mark of the beast? It's sin. Yeah, it is a sin to take it, a sin unto death, but ultimately it's not sin. That's not the mark of the beast. It's sin. That's in case we all have it because, we all have sin. But it reads, They hearken not, nor incline their ear, but walked in the counsels and in the imagination of their evil heart, and went backward and not forward. Yeah, you backsliding. Since the days that your fathers came up out of the land of Egypt unto this day, I've even sent unto you all my servants, the prophets, daily rising up early and sending them. Yet they hearkened not unto them, nor inclined their ear, but hardened their necks, and did worse than their fathers. Therefore thou shalt speak all these words unto them, but they will not hearken to thee. And thou shalt also call unto them, but they will not answer thee. So ultimately, this is the reason why, they come up against this, man. So judgment is going to follow because Jake, you're not listening. All right? Go to the book of Matthew real quick. Matthew 16:1. It says, the Pharisee also with the Sadducees come and tempting, desiring him that he would show them a sign from heaven. And he answered and said unto them, when is it evening, ye say it will be fair weather, for the sky is red. And in the morning it will be foul weather, today, for the sky is red and lowering. O ye hypocrites, you can discern the face of the sky, but ye cannot discern the sign of the times. Okay? And Yahushua is essentially saying that, look, man, the shit is obvious at this point. Okay? Like I said, you got this idiot here that loses password to his chip. But essentially, man, this thing is going to gravitate around, a digital future. So, these things may have passwords. You may have some type of encryption because it's all digital. It's all through computer function. So you would think that they would have some type of reset password link that you can kind of get online through some type of program, because essentially these have to be vetted through some program, and you can reset the password that way because it is a computer chip. But play stupid games, win stupid prizes. All right. The book of Matthew 24, and I'm going to start at verses 32. And it says, now learn the parable of the fig tree. When his branch is yet tender, he putteth forth leaves, and ye know that summer is nigh. So likewise, when you should see all these things, know that it is near, even at the doors, okay? Yeah, this thing is right around the corner. Hopefully by 2026, this will be a real thing. But verily I say unto you, this generation shall not pass till all these things be fulfilled. Heaven and earth shall pass away, but my word shall not pass away. But that day and hour knoweth no man, no not the angels of heaven, but my Father only. But as in the day of Noah were, so shall the coming of the Son of Man be. Okay, so it's going to take a lot of you Jakes unawares and you people in general, because you're not paying attention to the signs. For as in the days that were before the flood, they were eating and drinking, marrying and giving into marriage until the day that Noah entered the ark, and knew not until the flood came and took them all away. So shall also the coming of the Son of Man be. Okay? Keep reading. It says, then two should be in the field, and one should be taken, and the other left. And this is not talking about no rapture, man. It says, two women should be grinding at the mill, one should be taken, and the other left. But watch therefore, for ye know not what hour your Lord doth come. But know this, if the good man of the house had known in what watch the thief will come, he would have watched, and would have not suffered his house to be broken up. Therefore be ye also ready. It says, for as much as hour ye think of the Son of Man cometh. And Jake is not paying attention, because the scriptures say the Lord comes as a thief in the night. But it's not going to be a thief unto us, because we're not going to be overtaken with darkness, because we know what to look for. Warning Jake about these prophecies and speaking into the masses of the people. They're hoping that things bounce back. But ideally, this will be the technology that you will have to be required, or you will have to get this tech. You will be required to get this technology embedded in your body in order to have a life here in America in the very near future. Okay, it ain't gonna be no opting out, or it ain't gonna be no choice like they did with the Icky Vicky in 2020. No, this is gonna be a mandatory thing, and if you don't have it, then you just pretty much you SOL if the Lord ain't with you. Okay, 1 Thessalonians 5:1. But at the times and seasons, brethren, you have no need that I write unto you. It says, for yourselves know perfectly that the day of the Lord so cometh as a thief in the night. Okay, meaning that this is going to come abruptly, because these things are accelerating. It says, for when they should say peace and safety, then sudden destruction coming upon them, as travail upon woman with child, and they should not escape. But ye, brethren, are not in darkness, that day shall overtake you as a thief. So we are hip to the shit that's happening. And ye are the children of light and the children of day, and we are not of the night nor of the darkness. So therefore, let us not sleep as do others, but let us watch and be sober. For they that be sleeping at night, and they that be drunken are drunken in the night. So therefore, let us who are of the day be sober, putting on the breastplate of faith and love, and for helmet and hope of salvation. Okay. So anyway, with that, all praises and glory and honor that's due to Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai. Lord's will, you will edify to the next lesson. Shalom. My cruel mother